Hi guys, what's up? In this video, I'm going to talk about the 8 signs that you are in a narcissistic relationship. One, if you're even thinking that you're in a narcissistic relationship, you probably are. Two, if your boundaries are constantly being pushed against, tested by this person, you're in a narcissistic relationship. Three, or you're probably in a narcissistic relationship, if you feel that your emotions are constantly being toyed with, that this person is manipulating you, and they are always doing it so that they have a positive outcome, not you. That's another sign. The fourth sign that you may be in a narcissistic relationship is if you share your feelings and ask for what you need and they never give it to you. You ask for their openness, their kindness, their respect, their honoring your boundaries, and they laugh, smile, don't talk to you, walk away. They don't engage in the conversation, or they say they'll do it and then they don't. This is another sign of a narcissistic relationship. Most narcissists have no caring generally about anyone else. They can love bomb you, which means they think they know what to say, but it's so over the top, it's phony. And a part of you wants to really, really believe it. I get that. But the fact that they don't do it automatically unless you're upset means that they just don't care. The next sign that you're in a narcissistic relationship is where you stop caring about yourself as much as you care about them. You've stopped the self-care, you've stopped taking steps every day to reach your own goals, and you're spending more and more time digging the narcissist out of their fallout, the fallout of their lives, jobs, people, where they are emotionally fragile and anything sets them off into a downward spiral where they just can't get it together. They're like on an emotional cliff constantly, and you feel needed because they're always falling off that cliff, where someone looks at them wrong and they have a meltdown. Someone says something that they don't like and they can't deal with it. They have an emotional meltdown, and you are always there picking up the pieces, when instead you're sacrificing the things that you should be doing for yourself. You're sacrificing time in your own business. You're sacrificing self-care. You're sacrificing time where you could just be happy being on your own. And you're sacrificing that for them to pick them up, dust them off, put back the pieces of their fragile emotional state, and then the pattern repeats. And if you look at the amount of time you're spending putting this person constantly back together, that's time that you're taking away from yourself, from your own self-care. And if you've noticed, another sign of that you're in a narcissistic toxic relationship is when they don't want to do the work to heal themselves. They just want someone else to constantly fix them, to constantly reassure them. There is not enough reassurance on the planet for them. You could say good things to them 24/7 and it would never be enough. And they refuse to do that for themselves. They refuse to do any self-work to heal themselves, their past trauma, whatever it is. They just don't want to do the work. They'd rather somebody else do it. The next sign that you're in a narcissistic toxic relationship is when you know they'll just go on to the next person. That's called them seeking narcissistic supply. It doesn't matter for them where it comes from, and they really don't care if it comes from you or not. They'll get it from somewhere. And that's why you are absolutely not even on their list of priorities. So the next sign that you're in a narcissistic toxic relationship is if there's always drama around this person. Even starting a new job, within a few days, they're talking about some drama at work, some drama, and it always involves them at the center. Someone didn't help them. Someone said something to them. Someone didn't react the way they thought they should react. And they're happy to take up hours of your time explaining the situation. Meanwhile, you know there's things that you should be doing, but instead, again, you're spending that time with them. They're not a friend in need. They're a friend that's taking you away from your own priorities, from your own goals. And they are never giving back to you. They might allow you to voice your own concern about your own life, but it's not coming from a place of genuine caring or concern. They can't wait till the conversation gets back to them and their needs. The next sign you're in a toxic, narcissistic relationship is if you're constantly dealing with their emotional garbage. They make you feel, they may not say it, but you feel like you're responsible for their emotional well-being. Stop doing that. You're not responsible for their emotional well-being. If they won't take care of their own emotions and their own self-care, that's not for you to do. The next reason or sign that you might be in a toxic relationship, narcissistic relationship, is if they have zero empathy for you. And you find yourself more and more just giving up on yourself and asserting your needs and your boundaries, because no matter how many times you ask for them to respect your boundaries, they, if you've noticed, get a thrill stepping on your boundaries over just, it thrills them, and they have this like narcissistic evil type grin when they walk all over you and your boundaries, and you say, I need this time, and then they have an emergency or a meltdown or whatever they do. It's different for each person, but when they love stepping on your boundaries, when it gives them a thrill, it's very self-defeating for you and for your soul. And if you're listening to this and you're in a narcissistic or toxic relationship, your soul feels beat up. Your soul feels like it's having a million band-aids ripped off at the same time. It's not a joyous experience. And and remember the part of you that you used to be. It's time for you to get back to that person. It's time for you to take care of yourself. Another sign you're in a narcissistic relationship is whenever you do self-care or set your own boundaries or start working on your own goals or needs, they have an emergency. They want that attention back on themselves. The more you push back and go back to achieving your own goals, taking steps to your own goals, the worse your relationship becomes with the narcissist or the toxic relationship you're in, where it gives your mind feedback that you can't have what you want unless they're happy, and they're never happy. The next sign is where you feel addicted to them and the relationship. You feel like you want to constantly see what they're thinking, if they're going to text you, if they're going to call you, which of course you're never a priority in their mind unless they need something from you. That's a sign where you are trauma bound to this relationship, this person. It's time for you to stop continually getting burnt, spending your time, your money, and most of all, your energy in this relationship. If that's you, comment below, and maybe it's time to move on and get back to yourself, not move on to somebody else. Until you heal yourself, you will continue to attract these type of people. And believe me, they're out there and they're looking for people just as vulnerable and kind and giving as you are. So if that's you, spend some time healing yourself, a year, 6 months, and stop looking for the next relationship. Stop looking for it until you know you're healed, until you can get more joy out of being alone than with somebody else. I hope this finds you well. Goodbye for right now. I'm Mary Kay Richardson. I help professionals, entrepreneurs, online coaches to get past the things that are holding them back from their careers, their businesses, whether it's strong anxiety, self-doubt, procrastination. Leave a comment below. Bye.